mathematical formulas are there. From the set of mathematical formulas, so we'll do apply the formulas and like this one. But we should know the physical importance or physical significance behind it. Then we can understand the very good, and we can interrelate to the communication aspects that is most required for the teachers of the mathematics, and also for other engineering streams also. Okay. So first of all, what is signal? What is signal? So it is nothing but it's a content of message. The content of message. So it has to be represented mathematically, right? So being engineers, we should be we will be representing some mathematical equations. We have to measure it, we have to control it, we have to analyze it. Then only will benefit for the mankind. Is it not? Yeah. So for example, signal is a mathematical function. Okay. Can you tell all the mathematical functions can be a signals? Anybody can answer. All the mathematical functions can be signals, or any ifs and buts are there, or terms and conditions apply. Okay, I will tell. So mathematical function. Let us start with the single variable mathematical. For example, f of x. That's called single variable mathematical function. So it's a voltage signal. It's a current signal. For example, if I go for the f of x comma y, two variables are there. So our cell signals are there. So that signals will vary. That signal strength, what you call received signal strength, will vary. Depends upon the time, depends upon the time. I mean distance traveled also. That means so here the independent variables are two variables, distance and also time. So like that, right? So that means, so first the point I would bring to your notice is um, the single valued mathematical function can be a signal, but multi-valued mathematical function, it cannot be a signal. Say for example, at t is equal to 10 seconds. Hello. Hello. So at t is equal to 10 seconds, if the function have the multiple values, so that means it cannot be a signal. At t is equal to 10 seconds, signal have only one value, that can be a signal. So what is the motto here is, so all the signals are nothing but it have the mathematical information, content of information, message is there, message is embedded. That message embedded, what message embedded is representing in form of mathematical function. That too in the form of single valued mathematical function. So variables can be x comma y comma z, like that also. Say that means it's not variables. That means value is important. Shall I write here? Say for example, one minute, please. Pencil తీసుకోండి. గ్రీన్ తీసుకోండి, గ్రీన్ సరి కనిపించదు. బ్లూ తీసుకోండి, బ్లూ కానీ బ్లాక్ కానీ, రెడ్ గా ఉండదు. How to erase it?
Erase changes. First screen out choose that one. Scan change. Yes. Pen changes. మన and go to pens. And this. And then click this. Click it. Yes.
Uh,
Invisible output. Yes.
for example, f of x. Okay, means it's a single variable signal. Let f of x comma y. It's a double variable signal. So f of x comma y comma z. It's a triple variable. So f of x is there. It can be a voltage signal or current signal. If I come for the second one, it is a mobile signal, which which depends upon the time and also distance traveled. If I go for the x comma y comma z, it is a image signal. So image signal have x coordinate, y coordinate, depth. That is the third coordinate is also there. So to analyze this one, in all these things, f of x is a single valued function. F of x comma y is also a single valued function. F of x comma y comma z is also a single valued function. Okay. So for example, I'll put here, say it is there. Say for example, it is a separate t. So it is a f of x comma y, right? So it can be a signal. 1 minute, please. Then 1 hour.
F of x and y.
Say for example, you can see it is a single valued function. So if I go for second case, say for example, it's a t, say it is a f of x, so it is a multi-valued function. So at a t is equal to t naught. So the signal may have the multiple values. That's a multi-valued function. So the final conclusion here is, so single valued functions can represent the signals, message signal or information signal, but multi-valued functions, they cannot, because it's ambiguity is there. The multiple values are there at a particular time instant, so they cannot represent the messages or informations. Yeah. Signals, first we have to say that, say for every signal, the important parameters inside is, so amplitude, frequency, and phase. What amplitude indicates, what frequency indicates, what phase indicates. First, let me tell. Say for example, I'll take one signal. For example, V of t equal to, say it is a cos omega naught t plus theta. So in this one, the amplitude is there. This is the amplitude, and this is the frequency, and this is the phase is there. So what amplitude indicates? It's a voltage signal or any signal. It may have some message information. So means the amplitude is the, so it indicates the amount of power present or the amount of energy content of this given signal. So for example, if I take it is a voice signal or audio signal. So if the amplitude increases, that means volume or loudness increases. So if I come for the omega naught, what is omega naught? It's a frequency. So what it indicates, anyone can guess, anyone can tell what the frequency indicates, omega naught? Of course, frequency can go by angular frequency or linear frequency. For example, frequency, what it indicates? you will tell the so many numbers, so many things. So the frequency is number of cycles per second. So not that one. We have to tell here is some signal concept we have to tell. So the frequency means it indicates. For example, this signal is there. So I will write the power of this one. The power of the signal is so a square by 2. So the frequency indicates so the position of the power in the frequency spectrum. In the frequency spectrum, where the a square by 2 power is available at what frequency? Is it available at 1 kilohertz or 2 kilohertz or 30 kilohertz? That means the frequency is nothing but the position of the power or location of the power, or you can also call, if it is an energy signal, you can also call it is a location of the energy or position of the energy, right? So, and coming to theta, what is theta indicates? Okay, amplitude A have the information about the signal, the frequency F has the information about the signal, but theta, so the theta as such, in fact, it doesn't have information about the, or it doesn't have any information about the signal. Only thing is the theta, the theta, it indicates, so it will come into existence only when other signal is there or reference signal is there. So that means it gives the information about when the signal appears compared to reference signal. For example, our class is supposed to be start at 9:30. Our class is delayed by some time. So how can you tell the delay is there? So because we have the reference time is there 9:30. Supposed to start the class at 9:30, because of some other circumstances we could not able to start the class at 9:30. So to embed that information, that means the starting class is also signal. That means the theta parameter used. So every signal have 3 parameters. One is amplitude. It will give the amount of power or amount of energy. And coming to the frequency, it will speaks about the, so where the power is available in the frequency spectrum, or where the energy is available in the frequency spectrum. And coming to third parameter, theta, it gives the information about the appearance of the signal when it appears. If it appears exactly at reference time at 9:30, class starts at 9:30, so the phase is 0. If the class starts at after some time, after 9:30, the phase is going to be a negative, or it is also called phase lagging signal, or delayed signal. If the class starts us before 9:30, the phase is positive, or phase leading signal, or also called early signal or advanced signal. Like that we'll classify it. So that means 3 parameters are there, right? So that means signal is nothing but it's a mathematical representation of the information. So that means that we are representing in terms of electrical signals. We are referring either voltage signal or current signal. The reason is either voltage signal or current signal. It is a single variable. You can put the question, why not the power is a signal? No, it's a double variable. No? So that means if you scale it and multiplying by resistance V square R, or sorry, V square by R, or I square R, it gives the power, right? So from the primary signals only, we will derive the secondary one, right? Okay, now. Okay. The first time I'm using this stylus and board, I'm not comfortable. I'll try to make it understand this. Right. So yeah, for any signal, parameters know what are the characteristics. So what are the characteristics of this? Yeah. What are the characteristics? For example, being communication engineers, so the characteristics what we required is, say for example, V of t is there, it is there. So let me write, say for example, okay, it is A cos omega naught t, right? So for this one, what characteristics? The power is important, frequency is important. Okay, we'll see the DC value and VRMS value and power of that one and energy of this one. These are the important, right? Okay. So what is the DC value? The DC value is nothing but average value. So if you average the cosine or sine, so the DC value is there. And if I take the RMS value, root mean square value, all of you know familiar also. So that is, it gives the a square by 2 and power as I mean, so a by root 2. 1 minute, please.
Refreshments and chemical. Yes. Perfect. Again, parallel.
Come to the screen. Yeah. Say for example, V of t equal to a cos omega naught t. So only a single frequency is there. Okay. Right? Its DC value is equal to 0 and its RMS value equal to a by root 2 and its power is equal to a square by 2 and its energy is there, it's infinite, right? Okay. So you can hear. Right? That's one signal. Let me take one more signal. One signal, and next I'll take the other signal. V of t is equal to a sine omega naught t. So for this also VDC value is 0 and VRMS value is so a by root 2 and power is equal to a square by 2. Power is equal to a square by 2 and energy is equal to infinite. Okay. And if I take the if I take this next one, so V of t is equal to next signal. Say for example, sine, cos. Let us say it's a constant. Right? Its DC value. The DC value is equal to 0, and RMS value is equal to k, and power is there. The power is k square, and energy is there. It's infinite.
This will be kind of giant one. Exit and exit. Absolutely.
The practice in
చెప్పండి
వరలని కొందరు రాయాలన్నా some you should write it now. Complete warali is not possible. వైట్ బోర్డ్ ఇదే ఇక్కడ రాతాను ఇక్కడ దీనిలో రాతాను సరే సార్ లెట్ మీ గివ్ ఇట్ ప్లీజ్
Amar, అది కరెక్ట్ అమర్.
నెక్స్ట్
అరేంజ్
నెక్స్ట్ ప్లాన్ ఇక్కడ ఎస్
P of t is equal to a cos omega naught t plus theta, right? And second signal is V of t equal to a sin omega naught t plus theta, and the third signal is V of t equal to k, and the fourth signal is V of t equal to a e for j omega naught t plus. Okay. Let me put here. Here 4 signals are there. So let me give it here. In the 4 signals have one unique property is there. What is that property? All 4 signals have only single frequency component is there. So in the first one, in this one, first one, only the F0 is there. Second also, all 4 signals have single frequency components are there. Right? It's F0 and it's F0 and V of t is equal to k. It's a DC signal or constant signal. So its frequency is 0. Don't tell that no frequencies are there. No, its frequency is there, but frequency value is 0. Frequency value is 0, and the fourth one is called a into e power j omega naught t. So it's a complex signal, and its frequency is f0. What I would like to present here is all 4 signals are single frequency signals, but in the communication wording we will tell these are called single tone signals. Okay, so that means, right, so these signals will be used for the purpose of carrying the information. So if you want to send the message signal from place A to place B, so you cannot send directly because the message signal frequency is less. So frequency is less, wavelength is high. If the wavelength is high, so to transmit that low frequency signal, we need the antenna size is very much high. Physically, the antenna size is very high in terms of in the order of kilometers also. We cannot use this size of antenna having the kilometer size. So that's why we have to reduce the antenna size. Antenna size means we have to reduce the operating wavelength. Reducing the operating wavelength is nothing but we have to do the increase the frequency. That means the modulation is nothing but a process of frequency translation. Low frequency information is translated to high frequency information. So you with the process of modulation. To do the modulation, we require some helping signal. That helping signal we are calling the carrier. So right, so here we have 2 signals are there. One is the message signal. So information would like to pass from A to B. So place A to place B. That's the information signal, so-called message signal. To pass that one, I have to do the modulation. Modulation is the frequency translation. So for that, to do that process, we are taking the helping signal. That helping signal is a carrier. All carriers, as such, no information is there. Only the carriers are selected, only single tone signals, because it doesn't need to have any information. Message signal is different. So that means the modulation means we are embedding the message on the carrier signal. After embedded, after modulate, after modify, that means carrier is modified according to the message. That is called modulation. The modified signal we are calling the modulated signal, right? So I'll repeat here. So all 3 signals will be there. Yeah. You can take here. That means message signal is there, and a carrier signal is there. Carrier signal frequency is very high frequency, very high frequency to reduce the size of antenna. So it's a single tone signal. As such, carrier no information. So the carrier signal is modulated according to the message signal. According to the message signal. After modulated, we are transmitting because frequency, occupying frequency is very high, means wavelength is low, means antenna size can be usually less, right? Right. So single tone signal, right? For example, the signals, I mean, analyzing in the time domain, some difficulties are there. For example, if I take the system, say for example, it is some system is there, this system is there. Let us call it is a continuous system is there, its output. So let output is y of t and it is a x of t input. So this system is a continuous system, it's right. So that means system is characterized by h of t, input is x of t is there, output y of t is there. So what is input output relation? Input output relation is, so for example, I'll write here. So the y of t is equal to x of t into h of t. Yeah, y of t is equal to x of t x of t convolution with h of t, right? H of t. Okay, you can see means to a convolution. What is convolution here? I'll write here. So it is nothing but a minus infinite to plus infinite. So x of tau and h of t minus tau and d tau.
One more video. Thank you. Okay. Next. Yes, you can use brush. You can use pointer.
Output y of t is equal to x of t convolution with h of t. That is nothing but it is a minus into plus infinite x of tau, h of t minus tau and d tau. Right. So the convolution is nothing but so x of tau is there. So and h of t minus tau. These two signals are multiplied. After multiplying, we are multiplied signal is there are multiplied for the product quantity. So for that we are finding the area. That area is equal to h of t. Is equal to y of t. Right. So that's called convolution. And similarly, so we'll also write the correlation also.
Next page.
To evaluate the convolution, it's too difficult because they integrating sometimes may be more complex. So to avoid that one, so that means first of all, instead of representing the signal in the time domain, let us convert into frequency domain. So and we'll do it. Okay. So for that, so we have to see what is it, right? Just you can see. The four signals we have seen it. That four signals are single tone signals. But in the real life, so signals may have the multiple frequency components. So in that case, how do you analyze it? So first of all, what frequency components are there? So what are their magnitudes? What are their amplitudes? Is it comfortable to you? Hello? Hello? What are their magnitudes?
Yes. People are knowledge, I think, yes, sir. We are able to view the screen. Yeah.
But I'm not comfortable with this board.
Sure,
I'll try to put.
Sir, can you write on a paper and show? That will be much, you will also be comfortable and it will be proper for us also. If you can focus the camera on the paper instead of taking this pen, sir.
Camera. Madhuri.
I mean, webcam can be focused on the paper that you write. So you will also be comfortable and we will also hear, sir.
Oh, okay, that's.
Sir, is it okay if we have a small board in the? I think we will have a board in the staff room also, a small bulletin board. If you can adjust it just in front of the laptop or the camera, even that will work, sir.
Okay, madam.
Whichever is easy for you.
Camera. Yeah, switch off the camera, sir. Camera on the
Hmm. What is best? Best in the problem. Just bear for 2 minutes. We are moving to the board. I am also comfortable. Otherwise, I mean, only orally we cannot tell. So I am moving to the board. Just bear for 2 more minutes. I regret for inconvenience.
No problem, sir. Yes.
Oral notes, sir.
On behalf of the organizers, I extend my extreme sorry for all the inconvenience that is created. Actually, we were supposed to go with some software that has troubleshooted. So we are now presently using the digital board. Even sir is not familiar with that. We are facing difficulty. At last, with your suggestion and the availability of the board, we will go with some other way. Hope it will help us. Amarnath sir, please check the voice is audible. Is it nearby?
It is clear, ma'am.
Yes. No, light's clear. Light is there. A little bit of glare on the whiteboard is appearing. You can bring it a little closer or the desktop, no, I mean your system closer to that. Any one way.
It's now okay.
Board visible, madam?
Yes, sir. Little
Right
light
now?
on the left. You can move it to the left, sir. To your right, I think. Amarnath sir, just a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah,
Madam,
little bit.
Mamita madam, so the entire board is visible to you, madam?
Yes, sir. It's more than
Yes,
70%.
sir.
What about my voice, madam?
Yes, we are. Participants, is this clear? Voice and the board. Are you all okay with this?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. We'll proceed. We'll go ahead with this setup.
Fine. Sorry, convenience, but I'll proceed. Okay. For example, right? Now, for example, now I'll take here. Say it is a input signal is there. It is a continuous system is there. It is a continuous system. X of t is there, and output y of t is there, right? So it is h of t. So the output here, the y of t is equal to convolution of x of t and h of t. So which is nothing but it is a minus the plus in the frame. So x of tau, h of t minus tau, and d tau. So we'll write it. Okay, madam, Mamata, madam, it's okay.
Sir, but we are not able to view the letters that are written on the board. I think I have to double. If I'm pinning the screen,
Yeah.
people, you can tell me is if you're pinning the screen, you're able to see the board
Yes,
content.
madam. Mamata, madam, it's clear. Everyone
Yes.
should pin the screen.
Double click on the screen, then you can see the each and every letter on this board.
Yes, madam.
Yes. Okay. The reason is while we are finding convolution, I mean, evaluating this convolution becomes more complex. So that means the time domain approach sometimes is more complex to evaluate the output. That's why. So let us go for frequency domain approach. In the frequency domain approach, so first of all, these four signals are there. So I told you already. Say for example, V of t is equal to k, and other one is V of t is equal to a cos omega naught t, and V of t is equal to a sin omega naught t, and V of t is equal to a e power j omega naught t. So these four signals are single tone signals. But coming to real life, so these signals may have multiple frequencies. So to know what frequency components are, there, what are their magnitudes, what are their powers, what are their phases. So to know that one, so I have to analyze the signal. So in the frequency domain, I have to analyze. So the best tool to analyze this is Fourier series. The Fourier series is there. The best tool is the Fourier series. Say for example, the V of t is there. So we are representing in terms of the Fourier series. Say three types of Fourier series are there. So one is called, let us get A naught plus sigma n is equal to 1 to infinite, and An cos n omega naught t, and sigma n is equal to 1 to infinite, and Bn sin n omega naught t. Of course, by mathematical formulas are there, So here, so the A naught indicates, so how much DC component is there? So how much means DC component means whose frequency is 0, means DC value or its frequency is there, it's called VDC, right? So AN indicates it is that means in this signal DC component is this much. So in this signal, so if this signal have the, so that means it is each f is equal to nf naught, right? So this signal have and one more bn is there. It is this f is equal to, so like this one. That means by writing the Fourier series, so we are able to know how much DC amount is there, or what are the other frequency component, n is equal to 1, n is equal to 2, and like that. That means this signal have so many harmonics are there, f0, 2f0, 3f0, 4f0, so like that there. But this part is called, this part is DC value, whereas this part is called AC value. So the Fourier series is resolving the signal into, AC plus DC. It's having DC this much, AC this much. So the AC component is represented as a combination of cosine term and sine term, right? So, and cosine term and sine term. So here, one more drawback is that means to represent the DC, only one term we are using it, but to represent the AC, we are using the two terms, right? AC, sine and cos, right? And one more term, okay, and also we don't know what is the phase of that one. So for example, right, here we are able to find the frequencies, right? So, but it is called trigonometric Fourier series. If I go for the same other one, so we can write it's a C naught sigma n is equal to 1 to infinite, and Cn cos n omega naught t, and pi n is there. So it's the best suitable, right? So this signal have the DC component of this much, and so its frequencies are, for example, f0 frequency having magnitude C1 and phase is pi1. 2f0 frequency means n is equal to 2, having magnitude is C2, phase is pi2, and for example n is equal to 10, so which frequency is nf0, having magnitude is C10 and pi n, right? So here also it's a DC term, DC term. In this one we are writing this one. So what the benefit is DC plus AC, and it gives the AC term magnitude, frequency, and phase. Magnitude and frequency, phase. Okay, right. Okay, but here some drawback is there. So if we take this one or if we take this one, it is a single-sided spectrum because the frequency start from f0, 2f0, 3f0, 4f0, like that. Here also, if we take n is equal 1 to n, it's also single-sided. So these two representations have the limitation is so single-sided spectrum. F is equal to positive only, but we have to represent the entire signal in the minus into plus infinite. That's why it is called cosine Fourier series. Cosine Fourier series. We are going for the third one. It is called exponential Fourier series. So, Mamta madam, is it visible? Audio and video comfortable?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's clear, sir.
Yeah, it is, for example, here we'll write say n is equal to minus into plus infinite and Vn e power j n omega naught t. So it is called exponential Fourier series. So this is the basis for moving towards the Fourier transform. This is the basis, right? So here in this case, we'll write the power of the signal is. Let me write. So it is the basis, right? So let me, so at this frequency, at f is equal to, so for this, the power of this is, so the power of the DC component is A square and the power of AC component is first cosine term 1 by sigma n is equal to 1 to an and square and 1 by 2 sigma n is equal to 1 to and bn square. That's the power, right? But coming to in this case, this power is equal to C naught square and 1 by 2 and sigma n is equal to 1 to infinite and Cn square, right? Okay. As we are all believe that important here. What happened is we can add voltages, we can add currents because they are single degree terms or primary terms. But here I am adding the powers also. I will tell the reason. But whereas in this one, the power of this is sigma n is equal to minus or plus infinite and magnitude it's like this, right? Okay. Why I am able to add it? So first of all, the Fourier series gives the complete picture about the what frequency components are there, what are their magnitudes, what are their phases, and how much power is available at a particular frequency. After that one, so I am adding power. Why I am adding power? Because the terms, this term and all the terms are mutually orthogonal. So if the signals are mutually orthogonal, say for example, V of t is there, so V1 of t plus V2 of t, right? Each power is P1, each power is P2. So this power is equal to P1 plus P2, provided that these two signals are mutually orthogonal. What is orthogonality? That's an important concept for communications, right? What is orthogonality? Orthogonality means it will occupy in the frequency spectrum, some spectrum. It will also occupy some frequency spectrum. If these two signals are non-overlapped in the frequency domain, they are obviously orthogonal, right? So, for example, okay. So that means, so to know the orthogonality. So why should I know the orthogonality? You can question, why should I know orthogonality? What is the benefit? If orthogonal or not. So what is use? The reason is in a communication channel. In the communication channel, we are transmitting. So, for example, from Hyderabad to Vijayawada, one channel is there. Through that channel, I would like to transmit. Simultaneously, 10 members, I would like to transmit it. 10 members. So, all 10 signals are simultaneously transmitted. If the all 10 signals are orthogonal, mutually orthogonal, if you transmit at a time, they won't interfere. There won't be any overlapping. They won't interfere. If they are non-orthogonal, so at a time 10 signals are transmitted, they will interfere it. So that means interference problems will be there, or crosstalk is there. So that means, so to know to mix the signals, so first I should know whether they are orthogonal or not. If they are orthogonal, I can mix the signal. At the receiver end, I can separate it. But if they are non-orthogonal, if I mix signal at the receiver, so the separation is too difficult. So perfectly, there is no filter to separate non-orthogonal signals. That's right. So the finding orthogonality, knowing orthogonality is a basic step for the communications. So if the signals are orthogonal, then only I can mix, I can multiplex. So and multiplex signal I can transmit through this channel. Right? 1 minute, please. Yeah, you can see here. V of t is there. For example, n is equal to minus 2 plus infinite and Vn e power j n omega t. Of course, Vn is equal to, it is a 1 by t naught minus t naught by 2 plus t naught by 2, and it is a V of t e power minus j n omega t. Exponential Fourier series and exponential Fourier series coefficient. So now our question is, for any signal Fourier series will exist. To be exist, what are the conditions? So that means this signal to exist in Fourier series. So it is its absolute integral is the minus 2 plus infinite V of t and dt. It should be a finite. It should be finite. Then Fourier transform is infinite. So Fourier series. So is infinite. Fourier series won't exist, right? Some signals are there, are following this condition, So still it is a signal, they will exist in the real life, so we have to transmit. So how to analyze these signals? So I mean, how to analyze the signals? To tackle these signals, I have to modify the Fourier series. The modified version of the Fourier series is written the Fourier transform, right? So I'll repeat once again. For any signal satisfied this condition, we are able to find Fourier series. Once Fourier series is found, so we are able to know what frequency components are there, their magnitudes, phases, their power component also know. So after knowing this one, so I am able to guess at this frequency, this much of amount of power is there. At this frequency, this much amount of power is there. I can convert it. But that some signals are there not satisfying this condition. I cannot find Fourier series. In such case, so how to analyze it? How to find its power content, or what frequency components are there? What are the dominating frequency components, and to find the bandwidth of that one? To find the bandwidth of that one. So how to find it? So to know that one, I have to modify this one, right? So the Fourier transform is nothing but a modified version of this one. So just only modifying it, you can see here. Say for example, V of t is there. So its Fourier transform, for example, V of omega. Its Fourier transform, both are Fourier transform pairs. The V of omega is there. It is nothing but minus into plus infinite, and V of t e power minus j and omega t and dt. Right? And reverse Fourier transform is 1 by 2 pi and minus into plus infinite and V of omega and e for j omega t and d omega. So like so, right? The reason is,
Sir, participants, are you people able to see this? Please respond.
Okay,
Ma'am, red color is not that visible.
Yes, sir. We'll go with blue color. That will be better, sir. And
I'll go by blue color. No problem.
Yes.
For example, very standard signals are there, or you can also call elementary signals or testing signals, time domain testing signals. So one is del of t. How did I find that del of t is nothing but a zero everywhere it is zero, and it is called infinite at t is equal to. So that is being represented like this, right? It is an example. So first of all, the one is there. This one is not the value of signal at t is equal to 0. The one is that the one is called, it is called strength. What is strength? It is called area under this graph. That means it is a del of t and dt. That is one, right? So it is called impulse signal. It's elementary signal. So any system to check its characteristics, so I have to apply some input. So the standard input, we are applying the impulse, right? So it is a impulse signal, let it is a system, right? And I am finding the output. This output is called impulse response, IR, impulse response, right? So if I know impulse response, I am able to comment whether the system is stable or not, whether it is linear or not, whether it is a time invariant or not. To assess the system characteristics, I should apply the testing signal. It's called time domain testing signal. After applying time domain testing signal, I'll get this one. It's called impulse response. I will analyze the impulse response. After analyzing impulse response, I will conclude system is stable, system is linear, system is time invariant or non-linear or non-time invariant. Like that, I will conclude it. Right? That's important. Similarly, if I go in like this one, so other signal is there, U of t, it's called unit step. What is this? It is a 1. T is equal to positive and 0. T is equal to negative is equal to half. That T is equal to 0. Right? It is there. It is a right. It is, say for example, 1. It is a U of t. It is a second time domain testing signal. So for this one, so what is the absolute integral option? It's absolute integral minus 2 plus infinite absolute value of U of t dt, right? So it is a minus 2 plus infinite 1 dt. It is infinite. So for this one, Fourier series won't exist because absolute integral is a infinite. Fourier series won't exist. But this is a very important signal for the communication point of view. How do you analyze this one? You got me? So for example, unit step signal, U of t, it's a unit step signal. For that unit step signal, it's a mathematical formula like this one, and it's a graphical representation. For that, I am applied the Dirichlet's condition. As per the Dirichlet's condition, it's alpha for infinite. So infinite is the Fourier series signal. Then how to analyze this signal? It's one of the important time domain testing signal. How to analyze this one? So what frequency components are there? What are the frequency components which are dominated, or what are the bandwidth of the signal? To find all this one, I should see some alternative. That alternative is nothing but a modification of Fourier series. That modification of Fourier series is nothing but a Fourier transform, right? So Fourier transform. Okay, Fourier transform, right? Okay, we'll come Fourier transform, right? One thing brought to it is, so before t is equal to 0, value of signal is 0. Everybody agrees. After t is equal to 0, the value of signal is 1. At t is equal to 0, most of the local author books, he will write at t is equal to 0, 1, it's wrong. At t is equal to 0, 1, it's wrong. At t is equal to 0, it's off. The reason is in the signals, in the communications. So what is the very clear point here is, so it is the discontinuity signals. Why it is discontinuity signal? At t is equal to 0, the value suddenly rises from 0 to 1. So the t is equal to 0, it's a point of discontinuity. At point of discontinuity, so to find the value at point of discontinuity is always average of these two. So what is the average of 2? 0 plus 1. So off like this. So in the signals, wherever the discontinuities are there, how do you find the value? The value at the point of discontinuity, the average of lower value plus upper value, like this. Okay, right. Okay, that one. And one more thing here is, so one more thing is, so what is differentiation of the differentiation? What is the differentiation of this one? So before 0, it's constant. After 0, it's a constant because one differentiation 0. At t is equal to 0, what is differentiation? It's a y-axis. Y-axis means at t is equal, that means it's value 1. So the differentiation, that means if I differentiate this one, shall I get like this one? That means differentiation of this U of t, right? I'll get it. So before 0, after 0, at t is equal to 0, its value is infinite. So any signal whose value is 0 everywhere except at t is equal to 0, that is an automatic impulse, right? That is an automatic impulse. So this is a very important thing we are using, right? So that means the second, for the second time domain signal, if I differentiate, I'll get a first, right? Okay, right. Here. I'll go back. So these are the time domains, and del of t and U of t, and it's a RAM, R of t, and it's a parabola. So of course, these two are very important. So in the impulse signal, step signal, and ramp signal, and parabola. Of course, we are also writing one is called doublet differential. It is called doublet signal. Doublet. It is called impulse signal. Impulse signal, and it is called step or unit step signal also. Unit step. It is called a ramp signal, or it is called parabolic signal, right? Parabolic signal, right? So these are all called time domain testing signals to know the characteristics of the any system. So I can apply either this, any one. So after finding its response, I will comment how the system behavior is. Right? These are things, right? Okay. So that means I told you the Fourier transform. Okay, that's why, for example, V of t, its Fourier transform is V of omega, right? So the V of omega is equal to minus v plus n and V of t e power minus j omega t and dt. Similarly, V of t inverse Fourier transform 1 by 2 pi and minus v plus n and V of omega and e power j omega t and d omega, right? So here, what is the condition for existence of Fourier transform? So the condition is like this one. So this for Fourier transform to exist, it's a minus v plus infinity. So absolute integral. This is a finite. So is a finite. The Fourier transform will exist. So if infinite, but if infinite. So that's why this is there now. This condition is there. This condition have to modify it. In the Fourier series case, this condition is satisfied. Fourier series will exist. This condition is not satisfied. Fourier series will not exist. That is nothing Dirichlet's conditions. But in the Fourier transform is there. This condition is there. This condition is called. It is a sufficient condition, but not necessary condition. Means any signal satisfies this one, Fourier transform will exist. Any signal not satisfied this one, don't conclude that Fourier transform is not exist. Still chances are there to exist the Fourier transform. Best example is unit step signal. That means that's why this condition is a sufficient. Satisfies Fourier transform will exist. Not satisfies, still Fourier transform may exist, may not exist. Okay, right. Right. Okay. It is a sufficient condition, but not necessary condition. Yeah. For example, del of t is there. So del of t is there. So I find its Fourier transform. That means it's a V of t. Right. So it's V of omega. It's Fourier transform. That means V of t e power minus j omega t dt. So that means it's a minus v plus infinity. It is a del of t and e power minus j omega t and dt. What is the location of impulse? What is this one? It's a location of impulse. So location of impulse. It's an impulse signal, right? So we know that. So del of t is equal to 0 when t is not equal to 0 is equal to infinite and t is equal to 0. But area under this one is so del of t is equal to 1. This one is called strength of the signal, right? Strength of signal, right? Strength of signal. The location of impulse is 0. That location of impulse is within the range of integration. This location of impulse is within the range of integration. So if so, then you can write this is limited. You can write it is e power minus j omega t. I mean e power 0 is 1. That means so del of t is that its Fourier transform. So this one del of t and 1 both are Fourier transform pairs. So here You can see here. So, for example, del of t, its Fourier transform is 1. That means in the time domain, signal looks like this one. In the frequency domain, the signal looks like this one. Right? Omega 0. Its signal looks like this one. It is a 4 omega. It is a V of t. Right? Okay. You can see del of t Fourier transform is 1. In the time domain, graph. In the frequency domain, mathematical formula. So this is the time domain mathematical formula. It is the frequency domain mathematical formula, time domain mathematical formula, and graph. Frequency domain mathematical formula and graph. So what I conclude, so in the del of t, what frequency components are there? In the del of t, it is having all frequency components. The del of t having 0 frequency, DC value, for 1 frequency, 1.8, minus 1 frequency, minus 3.6, all frequency. All frequency components, its magnitude is uniform, constant. So this del of t signal is also called white signal. White signal, right? So it is having all frequency components, and all frequency components have uniform magnitude, constant magnitude. It's a white signal, right? So, for example, if you mix the all colors, I'll get the white color. Similarly, if I mix the all frequencies of equal proportional, I'll get the impulse signal, right? So this is like, right? Next, for example, if I take the other signal, right? Say V of t is equal to k V of t. So its Fourier transform is there. I'll apply. I know the formula. I'll apply it. So its Fourier transform in the method. So V of omega is a 2 pi and k del of omega, right? Del. So it is omega 0 and it's a 2 pi k, and in the time domain it looks like this one. It's a t 0 and it's a k, right? You can see here. If the time domain signal is impulse, frequency domain is constant. Means all frequencies are there. If the time domain signal is constant, so-called DC, of course we know it's a DC signal, right? It's a DC signal. So time domain signal is a DC constant. It is having only 1 frequency component. So that its frequency is 0, right? So it is having all frequencies, right? So you can see the duality here: impulse constant impulse. So the Fourier transform will exhibit the impulse duality property or symmetry property, right? So that means the DC signal having only 1 frequency component, that frequency is 0, right? Don't tell anywhere. So there is no frequencies there, but frequency is there, but the value of frequency is 0, right? So it's a dual like this, right? So of course I can tell in the impulse signal, multiple frequency components are there. It is there 0, 1, 1.8, 3, minus 6, minus 7, 7.8, and so on. But in the DC signal, it is having only 1 frequency component. I mean, this frequency component, that frequency is 0, right? That frequency. So it is that's why this DC is a single tone signal, but it is not a single tone signal. It is having multiple tones, infinite tones, right? Infinite tones. And then we. Yeah, coming to orthogonal, let's say for example, so V1 of t is there and V2 of t is there. So now I have to find whether they are orthogonal or not. Say whether they are orthogonal or not. So to find orthogonality, simple. So I will write minus replacing frame and V1 of t and V2 of t dt. So it is 0. You can declare orthogonal, right? So orthogonal. It is not equal to 0. It is called non-orthogonal, right? Non-orthogonal, right? Okay. You can see here. Any signals. So if V of t is equal to V1 of t plus V2 of t, then power of this is the power of this is so power of P1 and power of P2. Power of this is the power of plus P2. Right? If these two signals are orthogonal, then only it will agree. So orthogonal, right? Orthogonal. So if the two signals are orthogonal, then only I can add the power. That means so if while I am mixing the signals, so the resultant signal is algebraic of these two. If the mixed signals are mutually orthogonal, then I can also add the powers also. So powers also algebraics now, right? That means, so if I know the orthogonality, I can in the single channel, at a time simultaneously we can send n number of signals. So to find the orthogonality, I have to evaluate. It is 0, you declare orthogonal. It is not 0, non-orthogonal. But sometimes the evaluating this integral becomes a complex. In that case, how to test the orthogonality? To test the orthogonality, what I'll do is shall remain it. Okay, I think. So one way is to test this one. Other way is so using the frequency domain, right? So for example, so one signal is that its Fourier transform is v omega, v1, and v2 signal is that its Fourier transform is v2 omega, right? So for example, the first signal frequency spectrum, let us call frequency spectrum, it is a v1, right? So that means this signal have frequency, this signal have power, this signal have power or energy in this range only. Before and after it's power or energy. So for example, this signal is that it's a v2 omega, and for example omega, right? So for example, it is like this. So you can see first signal occupies here in the frequency domain, second signal occupies this one. So for example, it is a 2 2 3. So for example, it is a 10 2 2, right? 10 2 10. So the first, it's a time domain. I'll find the Fourier transform. After finding the Fourier transform, I will draw the spectrum. So in the time domain, the graph is waveform. In the frequency domain, the graph is spectrum. This spectrum, whereas second spectrum is this one, right? So in the frequency domain, these two signals are non-overlapped. If signals are non-overlapped, you can declare that these two are orthogonal, right? So orthogonal. So I need not find any this integral. So to minus replacing point v1 of t and v2 of t and dt. This is I need not check it. So how to find orthogonality in the frequency domain? So how to find orthogonality in the frequency domain is, so this in the frequency domain, these two signals are non-orthogonal, no overlapping, no folding. So you can declare that signals are orthogonal. Once you confirm this is orthogonal, you can transmit at a time, right? So the bandwidth of this is 3 minus 1 hertz or 1 radians per second. The bandwidth of this one 20 minus 10, so 10 hertz or 10 radians per second. It's a bandwidth, right? So that means, so one is to find orthogonality, right? Other one is to find the bandwidth. So if I know the bandwidth, then only we can design the receiver. So the that means the receiver is designed such that to receive this band of signals, right? Fine. So one simple question for you here. For example, v1 of t is equal to a cos omega naught t, and v2 is there, so a sin omega naught t. So now you tell me whether they are orthogonal or not. Its Fourier transform. So for example, its Fourier transform is v of omega. It is a by and del of it is a pi del of omega minus omega naught and del of omega plus omega naught. And it is v of omega is equal to ja pi del of omega plus omega naught minus del of omega minus omega naught, right? So, and it's a time domain signal, it's a Fourier transform. For the first graph, right? So for the first one, its graph is like this one, right? So it is, say for example, it's a minus omega naught and plus omega naught. It is a pi and a pi, right? And for the second one, so whereas this is omega, and so this is equal to v omega, right? Second one, minus. Okay. So it is a right. It is a minus omega naught and minus omega naught, right? So left side, this side, it is a pi and this is a pi. What is my question is, you can see. These are the two time domain signals. It's a time domain mathematical formula. It's Fourier transform like this one. It's spectrums like this one. So okay, it's clear. What frequency is there? Same frequency left is there. What frequency is there? Same frequency left is there. So let's do that. That will come to for next point here. Right. So it is also having the omega naught. It is also having omega naught. If I mix, these two signals will mix. At a time, these two signals cannot transmit in the channel. So are these two signals are orthogonal or not? Because in the frequency domain, they are overlapping. That's why you may tell that it's a non-orthogonal. It's wrong. These two signals also orthogonal. The reason is any two signals non-overlapping, no doubt orthogonal. If overlapping is there, I have to check the phase. So what is the phase difference between these two? 90 degrees. 90 degrees means orthogonal. So what is my orthogonality condition now? To check orthogonality, to check whether these two signals are orthogonal or not, I have to check the first. I have to find the Fourier transform. After finding Fourier transform, I will draw the spectrums. If these two spectrums are non-overlapping, blindly you declare they are non-orthogonal. So they are orthogonal. Now the two frequency spectrums of the two signals are non-overlapping. Definitely they are orthogonal. If the overlapping is there, I have to go for second test. If the overlapping is there, I have to go for second test. If overlapping frequencies are overlapped is there, then I have to see the phase. If the phase difference between the overlapped frequencies is 90 degrees, still they can be orthogonal. So here frequencies are overlapped, but phase difference is there. That's why they are still orthogonal. That's why you can send the signal at a time same communication channel. Right? At a time same communication channel. So that means orthogonality is an important concept. So if it is so to find that one, I have to go for the frequency domain analysis. In the frequency domain analysis, no non-overlapping, so orthogonal. Even though overlapping, I have to see the phase. Phase is 90 degrees. They can be orthogonal, right? In the communications, we know the convolution, right? So convolution is mainly to find output, right? So this signal is the right. So just now we have find. So this system is the right. So it is system is the. It is called impulse response. Means when impulse is applied here, del of t, I am getting the output. That output is this one. It is called x of t, and it is called y of t, right? So the y of t is equal to x of t convolution. It is h of t. This is called minus into plus with me x of tau h of t minus tau d. But evaluating this integral is difficult. We discussed it. Depends upon the magnetical formulas also. So if I find the Fourier transform side, its Fourier transform is y of omega, and x of omega and h of omega. So it is called time domain relation and it is called frequency domain relation. In the frequency domain, output is nothing frequency domain input, simple multiplication of like this one. Simple multiplication of h of omega, right? So this h of t, it is called impulse response, whereas this h of omega is called transfer function. Of course, either by knowing this or by knowing this one, I am able to tell the characteristics of the system, how it behaves, its characteristics. So if I go for time domain analysis, I have to evaluate this convoluted integral like this. I have to evaluate. But if I switch over to the x of t to x of omega, h of t to h of omega, instead of evaluating this integral, I can simply multiply. So that means the analysis, the finding output becomes very easy in the frequency domain. The output in the frequency domain is called input in the frequency domain multiplied by the Fourier transform impulse function. That is called transform, right? So that's the benefit, right? Okay. I'll move here. So one more important relation is, for example, let us say x of t is there and y of t is there. So how do we tell if the two pens are there? I can compare. One is black, other one is red. So both are same height, both are same weight, both are radius is also same, right? So similarly, how do you compare the two signals? So how do you compare? So that means we are going for other parameter, other important parameter, which is more useful for the signals which are mixed with noise. So any communication signal, along the signal, some unwanted noise is also there. So how to eliminate, how to minimize. So within the noise, how do you extract the information? How do you extract the message signal? That's more important, right? So to do that one, so other concept that is called correlation concept is there. What is correlation concept? You can see. So it is a R of tau, R1 to R1 tau. It's called correlation, right? It's called correlation. Correlation. Right? So how to find it is nothing but a correlation. So okay, it is a minus into plus infinite, minus into plus infinite. So x of t and y of t plus tau and dt. Right? So whereas convolution, so it is a minus into plus infinite, x of tau and y of t minus tau and d tau. It is called output. Okay, it's called output, right? Let us call output is called V of t. Right? So in the convolution, we are doing the integration with tau. We'll substitute the values and the tau will disappear. Only t is a function. It's called signal. It's output signal. But in the correlation, we are integrating with the t. That means after putting limits, the t will disappear. The tau is there. It's called correlation, right? So what is correlation? The correlation is nothing but a measurement for similarityness between these two signals. So how do you measure similar? So if the correlation value is very high, these two signals are more similar. If the correlation value is very less, so these two signals are less similar. That means the correlation is a parameter to find the similarityness between the two signals or relatedness between the two signals, right? Right. So that means this concept will be more useful when it is when to extract the signal actual information when it is mixed with noise, right? So that's comparison. Of course, say that V1 of P is there and V2 of P is there. Let its power is P1 and its power is P2. I am adding these two signals, so it is called V1 of P plus, for example, V2 of P. The power of R energy also. The power R energy also. The power energy. So each power is equal to P1 plus P2. This is valid provided that orthogonal. So if these two signals are orthogonal, the combined power is P1 plus P2. If these two signals are non-orthogonal, the power here is so P1 plus P2 plus 2 into R12 G. What is R12? I told you already. So R12 means it is like this one. It is a minus plus infinite. So V1 of T and V2 of T plus tau and dt. So here, find the correlation, put tau is equal to 0, that value substitute. So this is the power formula when non-orthogonal. Right? So that means, so now orthogonal, I will apply this formula after confirming the orthogonal. If the signals are non-orthogonal, I will apply this formula in this case, I have to find this one. Using this one, I will apply. So that's why, so any signals are mixed, so I am able to find power. Either I can go for this one, either I can go for one. Orthogonal case, I will go for this one. Non-orthogonal case, I will go for this one, right? Okay. Next. For example, your V of t is there. The V of t is putting the three things. One is called continuous time signals. Other one is called discrete time signals. Other one is called digital signals. I'll go for this one. This let us call the V of t is called continuous time signal. So it is further classified as A and B and C. The V of here is no doubt it is a non-periodic and infinite duration, right? So it is a non-periodic, but it occupies top to bottom infinite duration. So for example, in this case, so it is right. So in this case, V of t is a periodic signal, right? So V of t is follows this one, t plus or minus periodic. You know periodic signal, right? So it is called, in this case, EFDS finite. So it is called, let us say for example, something 0, it's a VR. Right? So you can see. First of all, any signal we are classified into things: continuous time signals, discrete time signals, digital signals, or digital sequences also, right? So I am taking this one. This continuous signals is further classified into three things. One is called non-periodic, but infinite duration. So it's a periodic, periodic. And this is also non-periodic, but finite. It is also non-periodic, but finite duration, right? By finite duration, right? So here, one important point here is that, say for example, V of t is the right. V of t is that I am able to find power, I am able to find energy. Right? So first case, power is finite. Power is finite. Energy is infinite. That is called power signal. Power signal, right? Power signal. So power is 0 and energy is finite. So energy is finite. So that is called energy signal, right? So signals are classified as, of course, third is that. So third, any signal not satisfying these two at a time. Not satisfying these two at a time. That signals are called the neither. It's a power signal, let us call PS. It's an energy signal, let us call ES. So neither PS nor ES. So you take any signal should come to this category. So that signal can be a power signal, can be an energy signal, or it is neither a power signal nor an energy signal. So any signal, power is finite, energy is infinite, then only you declare the power signal. So power is finite, energy is infinite. So power is finite, power is 0, energy is finite, then only you declare energy signal. So that signal not satisfied these two at a time, not satisfied these two at a time, that is called, so neither a power signal nor energy signal. So why I am telling is,
Correct, sir.
5 more minutes.
Yes.
These signals I can use Fourier series, and whereas these signals Fourier series fail because if I apply the Fourier series formula for the signals, all frequency components are 0. All frequency components are 0. I cannot do it. So in this case, I have to come for the Fourier transform. Of course, here also I can apply Fourier transform. So, and in this case, I have to come for it because not there. So what is my conclusion? So periodic signals can analyze by Fourier series or Fourier transform also, but non-periodic, I have to go for the Fourier transform. Non-periodic or finite duration, I have to go for Fourier transform, and one more thing. So in this case, some of this case, so Fourier transform is also failed. In that case, I have to go for further Laplace transform. That means the Fourier series fail, I have to go for Fourier transform. Fourier transform fail, I have to go for Laplace transform. Laplace transform is ultimate, right? Ultimate, right? So right, okay. So now, okay, right? Yeah. So now, if it is a V of t is a power signal, power is important. So we'll apply the Fourier series. Power spectral density is important. The power spectral density is important. So the Fourier series is important. So if V of t is a energy signal, so energy is important because power is 0. Here power is important, energy is infinite. So the Fourier transform is the mathematical to analyze it. And here energy spectral density is important. The analysis, spectral will find it, right? Okay. So like that, we'll analyze it. Shall we conclude, madam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Uh,
Okay, madam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm here. Yes. As you were responding, I was waiting, sir.
I regret for inconvenience because I'm not comfortable to that board, and the assigned task is I have to cover the Fourier transform, Fourier series, and I have to link to the quantum thing. I could not able to link it because of this shortage of time.
Time restraint. Okay. Sir,
Thank you,
please-
thank you for organizers. Thank you, Suresh, and thank you, Mamata.
Sir, it's okay, sir.
Sir, I'll just ask few participants if they have any doubt or any question or any session will be there, so that
I'm here
orally
to,
some of the
welcome.
quantum computing details can be discussed. 1 minute.
Any one or two questions I can.
Yes. Participants, please, I request anyone from you can post some questions directly or put in the chat box related to the concept that sir has introduced and the one sir has been telling the quantum details, quantum computing details, which we were not able to complete in the session. Is anyone? You can put the doubts also, or you can post questions directly to sir.
You can mail to me also. Along.
No, I think so. There are no questions, I think, sir.
Sir, can you share your email ID?
Can you write, please?
Yeah, sure.
DKRED. I'll share here.
So, yeah, on the board you can. Ma'am, even you can take the mail ID from the CBIT website also. If this is not accessible, I mean, you're not able to see this, we can get you a, we will apply that also. I will provide you that.
Or you can WhatsApp also. Okay, madam. Thank you, madam.
1 minute, sir. I'll just give you a vote of thanks. Sir, we appreciate you for all the efforts that you have taken. I know there were some consequences because of it. We couldn't go with the other way of presentation. We were expecting a lot more, and we will hope that it will be delivered in future. We accept this.
Yeah, definitely. If you give one more chance for me in advance, particularly in advance, very in advance, if you tell, we can prepare the PPTs and conclusion.
Yes, sir. We can see the efforts that you have put into it. Hope whatever we have learned in today's class, we will take it to the next level and listen some more work from you, sir. It will definitely help us in understanding the quantum computing, the basics, how Fourier transform is used over here for signal processing. This, I hope all the participants will be at least benefited with the basic concept which sir has explained with ease. Thank you, sir, from all behalf of the participants and the CBIT family and the organizers of this FDP. I extend you a very big thank you, sir. Though the few of things are still pending, but we are really the topics that you taught us are helpful, sir. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you once again.
Thank you for organizing.
Right, sir.
Sir.
Participants, you all can communicate with the sir as he has given the mail ID dk.krishnareddy_ec@cbit.ac.in, or you can take his number 9866502428. He is very humble and down to earth person. He'll definitely help you in every aspect with the knowledge that he has, and hope you will take the things at least which you have missed here. Sir will definitely provide you with all the necessary data. With this, we will close the session. Yes.
Second session is by 2:30. Please join the second session. I will share the feedback form for this session in the WhatsApp group.